Welcome back. It's an absolutely beautiful morning, and I've been in here this morning, gave the loft a really good clean out. You can actually see I've got the nursery open this morning, and you see all the little babies. They've been out running around in here enjoying the sun, which is definitely what I want. I'm starting to get them comfortable with the loft. We'll just go in here, make sure I lock this up. So putting a lot of emphasis on these birds, especially now that we're in this loft, because before we had these guys, but because they come a little bit early, we hadn't really got the loft ready yet. They were just a little bit behind. So these guys are all broken into this loft anyway. So not too much stress. We just need to get them into a better routine. These guys, however, we wean them in this loft. And we're just really trying to get them comfortable in it. That's why I'm getting this door open. I'm letting them come out into this section, but I will shut them off later. And what I will do, and I have done once or twice, is actually take all these young birds out and put them in this trap section as well. Maybe tomorrow morning I might even open this door, leave all these open as well, so they can kind of just walk around. At this age, they're getting pretty curious, so they're going to be looking around, having just a sticky beak at everything, and they have a little bit of a peck here and there. And what I want them is really comfortable, so I'm going to get them in here. I will lock them in here later on probably as well, bring their food and their water and sit in here, and they can just sit out here and just get comfortable, familiarize themselves with the whole area. But also I really want them comfortable with this trapping box area, like the entrance, so that they're comfortable in coming in. They can land on the landing board and they can drop in as well. I will get them up in that trapping box. I probably don't need to trap them. I may even just put these bobs up. This is more just sort of just to get this up and running. I'm hoping that I can probably make a little wire bracket or something that we can just flick the bars up like this and hold them up, leave this open, just to get those young birds pretty tame and used to this whole system as well. So like in tame by me being comfortable walking around here and calling them in or whatever, not them being in here and stressing and flapping around, things like that. So that's why I'm trying to get them all comfortable with this whole thing. And we might even just get them in that box over this weekend, probably today and tomorrow, and we'll just set them up there for an hour, maybe leave this open, and maybe we'll just sit there watering their food down here, and they can come in at their own pace and get really comfortable with it. And then after a few trials, we might even drop these bars down. The bars are really so if we do get birds that come home from a race, we can always basically if they come home late, we can leave those bars there and they can come into here and they can't get back out. Maybe on race day what we'll do, I'm thinking maybe is just probably tying them up and just run an open door, because what we'll have to do, we'll drop those bars back down. What we're going to have to do is put a little bit of a bar section here, platform, but only very small, maybe on hinges, where the actual ETS is going to sit for the clock, because in our club the ETS has to be inside the loft. I've seen a lot of people have their ETS out here, which it's not, that's against Federation rules here, so it needs to be inside the loft, which is here, which is in our entrance section into our loft. So we really need to get probably sooner, hopefully over the next few months, so I can get a little section set up here so we can actually start training them with that, and maybe even try just doing a few little test runs with the door open, and just have one or two birds out and just see how they come in, kind of simulate a bit of a race scenario instead of having 40-50 birds trying to come in there at once. And that's it's not really what we're after at the moment. I just want to make sure the whole system works and we can start all these young birds off really quickly and young, so we can get them comfortable as possible. So these guys still on full tray. You can see everyone else is getting pretty excited when I come up to these trays, just because these guys, they're in training mode now. We're trying to really whip them back into gear, just because obviously all these birds, they need to be pretty much just dialed back into this loft. They were dialed into the other one. All the red checkers and muleys, they're all new, so we've got to try and get everyone into a system. At the moment it's a little bit chaotic, but we're getting there slowly. And these guys, we're really just trying to get them dialed in, because they're going to set a really good example for these guys. So these are all young birds that we bred a little bit earlier. We've done around That's why they've got last year's ring on it, but they're only a little bit older than these. These have got all the new rings on it, that's why it's blue. We also have the other Federation rings, which are pink as well, but we may just put them on stock birds or one loft birds that we're going to set aside from everyone else. These ones have all got to $20,000 rings on it, so I was paying a pretty close eye on them all. So these guys, full tray, you can see they're kind of picking out peas. I'll try not to touch that too much because it gets these guys a little bit too excited. They're all going out for a fly soon, and then they'll get a little meal. We've just upgraded the drink bottle as well. We had maybe like a litre one in here. Now we've got 3 litres. But at the same time as well, I've put in Turbosol in here to treat for canker. We've got a couple in here that have got canker. And I have been saying in a lot of videos that I'm keeping a very close eye on all the young birds this season, just so that we don't have any issues and we get on top of anything before it gets too serious and out of control. So it's going to happen. Cankers in all the birds, just stress and that type of stuff really just triggers it. And obviously weaning these young birds into here, all the changes and sort of mixing in with everything, because it's a little bit stressful for some of them, so they will start to slowly develop canker. I only treat for canker when I notice in their throat. I generally, at this point, I'm not just, treating them all the time. So I've noticed that there's probably 2 birds in here. That one there, he's got it. And I think one of Shock's babies got it as well. So there's only 2 that are showing it present in their throat. So there's nothing to be concerned about. We'll knock it out in a couple of days with the Turbosol from Australian Pigeon Company. It's actually super stuff, and I've got another shipment coming at the moment actually, so it'll turn up next week. And inside of that, we've also got a liquid wormer, and we've also got, what else is in there? I think we've got some Doxy T as well, which we're going to utilize for airways, which will treat closer to tossing and race season as well. So we're definitely getting there, and definitely a lot of focus on all these new ones coming through. Because realistically, these guys, most of them have been out to the end of the freeway, but they're all going to have to be retrained again. So we will probably wait till these guys get to that stage where we can just train them all together in the basket. It's just, otherwise it's a lot of extra mucking around. And until all these guys are vaccinated for PMV and Rota, I'm going to really restrict their movements where there's no tossing whatsoever, because there is a bit of a PMV outbreak at the moment. So I'm being very strict on everything at the moment. So we might even restrict loft flying as well. We might even just do like really small, short loft flying, and just keep a really close eye on them, because don't want PMV getting into my birds until we've actually got them fully vaccinated, which will happen as soon as my vaccination and stuff comes in. And there will be videos on that as well. I've never vaccinated before, so we'll have a pretty close eye on it. But make sure you do hit the like button on this video and drop some comments down below as well. Got any more hints and tips that we can utilize on young birds? What do you do with your young birds, things like that? Just drop some comments down below. This is sort of my first series here in racing, so I kind of really want to make sure that all these young birds coming through are well trained. And well, he's a bit aggressive, but I want to make sure they've got the best possible chance. How about you guys? These both are from Leon Storm, these ones. He's one of Leon Storm's daughter's children. Are you getting jealous? Anyway, I'm going to catch us all in the next video. Make sure to drop a comment down below. And just, let me know what you do with your birds, your young birds. Let's get these guys sorted. Hopefully one of you can win us $20,000. That would be pretty cool.